And welcome back, YouTube. In between this and the last video, got some food, got some coffee, so we're even more spry. That is not a journey I soon wish to repeat, but I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, MSQ. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free of other duties. Greetings, MSQ. Alphinaud tells me Alwyn is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphinaud to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived at Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slaffborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him? What can I do for you, MSQ? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scions. I barely noticed your recruits arrive. 'Twas barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. Words are hard. While I appreciate your offer of aid, 'tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slaffborn, the shipment! We couldn't. Woman, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mardona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Four Temps. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are apprised of this development. MSQ, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Four Temps? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I am certain Lord Haurchefant will be glad of your assistance. And so we travel. Well, well, if it isn't my fine friend MSQ, would you care for a plate of roast cockerel? Some mulled wine? No. I see you have not come into my hall merely trying to escape the biting cold. I was in fact on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mardona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurth's soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Forton does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts.
Forton? House Forton? It's Forton? Okay. I'll try to remember that.
Of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say. yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Hallone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
I feel like we're getting closer to officially being in Heaven's Ward, which is making me very excited, very happy, because I want to play Dragoon. MSQ, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I'm a man of action and need no honeyed words. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say, by the Fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly without warning and are carry enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. It's an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhap you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival... I was so close to getting through that, so good. Your arrival came moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. Patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that you could aid in your task. So close. So close. Just two chat bubbles away. Almost. Yes, my chocobo is indeed in the house. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I am quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts. I was traveling my usual route to Whitebrim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals, they were taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my bleary gaze, not glaze, that's something else, and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Where do we go now? Towards Snowcloak? Towards Snowcloak. I'd say we're pretty much. I don't think we've gotten the the credit crawl or whatever it is, like the orange, blood orange lettering that pretty much tells you you're done or you're starting a new story, expansion and such. So I think we can't switch to Dragoon just yet. smash him. Hell yeah, who else wants it? Continue forth. Gah! Draw your weapon, foul. Wait, I recognize you. You are come seeking heretics. Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. Rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they're gone. Vanished like icy wraiths. You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. It would be best were we to return to Whitebrim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Drillemont. Drillemont. If it's House Fortin, it's... shit. House Fortin, Lord Drillemont, House Dorday. Okay, I'm gonna stop on that last one. MSQ, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snorcloak were some of my finest. They should be bested so handily. I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. It would be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Horshaffon of your discoveries. He wishes to plan contingencies on his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Oh, Lord Horshaffon.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task, and the
Oh, weird camera angle.
I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody.
What's with the sexy camera angle?
But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
She's a sneering whore. I'm sorry. She's lovely.
Indeed. And this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
MSQ, 'tis good to see you return to the toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Kurthus? House Forton is sent to send a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Horschiffon for his continued generosity. Yet even as our own town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract even greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alpha Node's new recruits included, must remain vigilant and against such threats. I am going to be doing Lancer Dragoon. Let's take that one. While you were away in Korthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed. Although Tatru does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Ugh, I am sorely tempted to file that lot in my waste paper basket. Oh, a mask! You startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Alpha Node if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Oh, they are. Okay. They're all outside. Looks like there's one close by. Here we go. Those who believe this company will see no riches are short-sighted fools. The giving of oneself is an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. Here's a uniform. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once an organization has made a name for itself, there should be a wealth aplenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. I believe there's one up here. Oh, it's Laurentius. It's odd to see him here. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admit that I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Ah, are you new uniforms? I'm reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. Yeah, speaking of, don't be a dick. Out of all the recruits, man, I've got my eye on you the most. Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forward. Is your uniform? Ah, yes, the uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Let's go up top first. I don't believe we've met. I am Ilbert, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. Here's your uniform. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There is no easier method of creating a common bond among what is essentially a band of strangers. I agree. This scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hardy defender of Limsa Lominsa. Yet in truth, I stand for the betterment of the realm and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Here's your new uniform. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue! But alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. Real! Hello there, lad. Looking for me, was he? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Here's your uniform. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Wilfred. Little Alamigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll. that this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. Here's your uniform. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. Got one more. MSQ. Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were that what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. Here's your uniform. 'Tis an honor to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. And now we go back to Alpha Node. Yes. Tataru mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. Some few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention corps? Did I mention I had thought a name for the company? 'Tis my hope that it shall be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement. Does he have a voice? Because I'm drinking coffee.
Comrades,
Oh, thank God.
your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready. I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see.
That must be
Pray,
Urianger. Oh, yeah.
Inform me if her condition changes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
It's not. She
My
said she's going to
thanks.
pass
I shall
on
contact
to
you alone.
Urianger. Who's she talking to?
When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
It's a badass staff. It's all broken up and they have all the pieces. It's badass. It's very Lord of the Rings. This is for Conjure, Bard, Machinist, Dancer, Black Mage Summoner, Red Mage Boon. That of which I'm really going to be taking. Gonna just opt for the thing. Are you playing any of those classes? Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that this shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. Feels like we're in Heaven's Ward. Oh, that's a lot of knights. Oh. Oh. Eorzea defended. Hell yeah. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the grand companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Ascians, Urianger is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the Dark Beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular, state of the Crystal Braves. Alphinaud did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smoother operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, with that help comes from you. Alphinaud has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him and support him in whatever manner you are able. And he's here in the Rising Stones halls. I don't know why I made it a song. I think it is. It should be. So one thing I wish we could do is have our character be on the left, towards the left or the right of the screen, so that the middle's open, so that I can like see directly in front of me and Alpha Node's not hiding behind my character. Because, anyways. What is it, MSQ? And do be concise. I am rather busy. Like you should be able to do an isometric. You should be able to do what I said and then like have him to the side. Anyways, you would lend a hand, you say? I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. Given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves. But the demands upon my time are such that I had little choice. Which is not to say that my men want for labor, though we are but newly formed. There is already a great demand for our services, and we are hard-pressed to answer all petitions. But I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ailbird. Tell him that I sent you, and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance.
Hail to you, sire. How might we serve you?
All I gotta say is
Commander,
sloppy.
serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own. That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence. Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the grand companies.
What?
Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ.
Oh, that's not good.
We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames.
Appropriately named then.
Our quarry joined the company some time ago and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our
I love the
secrets,
wordplay.
all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge, but we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled roots.
This is a lot of wordplay. I'm loving the theme. I gotta say, I don't like this guy, but I love the thematic wordplay. It's very much appreciated.
Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Roban of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything,
while taking care not to betray our purpose by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-man army like you.
I like how he said that. For like you.
Well, what brings you here, my friend?
Well, what brings you here, my friend? This needs work.
He is here at my behest. Greetings, Roban. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you, the honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye, we've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice.
Those
You're
balls.
a hero to the common man.
Bah, spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to him, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Wilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you were an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all.
Oh, they speaking, all right.
So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Uldar to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monetarists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days and drink to the future of our homeland.
Sorry if I don't talk much during these. I like to let them
Flame
speak.
General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up.
And it helps me to like I'm like fully in it, like I'm absorbing it. So
Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
for Lantern, Dragoon. Yeah, we were gonna grab the Lancer stuff. All right. Oh, here we are. Our hunt for the Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice it to say, we must tread warily, but one misstep may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let us return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander Louvier. We are returned from Molda, Commander. And not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble? You will recall that the Fourth was tasked with We're just gonna say scouting, okay? There's no need for that giant-ass, stupid-ass word. You will recall that the Fourth was tasked with scouting the rendezvous site used by the Ivy's minion and his Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was... and I don't want to hear nothing about no company that's pronounced for Canada. Fuck you. That the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. Gods damn it. According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Garleans are not wont to treat their foemen with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afield. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Garleans with more captives, yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Ilbert has the right of it. I trust you are willing, but of course you are. Now, Eliana of the Fourth lies in wait in the Tangle, near the entrance to Castrum Sentry. Seek her out, and she will apprise you of the situation. Alright, that's actually not too far, I believe, yeah. You would aid us in the rescue mission. We are in your debt, Warrior of Light. Now, time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. Garleans fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Rash and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Garleans may be interrogating Rash, or worse. With her hurts, I fear that she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may... Stop with the fucking wordy chit-chatter and get to the point of where she is. Good grief. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us... Here we go. None of us was yada yada yada. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate the Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Rash before it's too late. I'm gonna just... It's just like, in an emergency situation where time is of the essence, do we really need to have such wordy, lofty responses? Tell us where she is, and we'll go handle it. My God. Like, if I was trapped, I'd be pissed if somebody was like, oh, well, this is why we have to rescue them. Because it's an honorable thing to do. And in our company, shut the frick up and tell them where I am. Resh, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now, to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with these wounds. She will need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. We trouble you to provide one. Given your reputation, I suspect the Guardians will only be too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safely outside these walls. Now that I can do. Gladly. Oh, 3 diversions? Alright. And then all the way down here? Okay. Let's do it. Let's put our helmet on. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Shot it. One more to go. Now to get out of here. I have awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You have done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe and we suffered no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission's success to Commander Louvier. I shall go ahead to the Rising Stones. Does me well to see you thus returned. Though I doubt your prowess, entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to having been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, MSQ. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Resh owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may take time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Korthus. I've been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. I bet it's Horshaphant. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you are ready. We need this, none of those. We have, oh, so it's not Horshaphant, it's Emmerich. We have been blessed with a rare opportunity, MSQ, an audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. It would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Emmerich wishes to meet the man behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. The antecedents should see the wisdom of this plan when you request her permission to accompany me to Korthus. Mayhap you feel this is to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler use. If so, I should remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. I don't know. When's the last time you swung a sword, Alphanod? Am I right? A meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador? By all means, I think it is a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Alphanod believes your presence may help him to secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Antecedent. I take it MSQ has explained the situation? He has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? Would that I knew. The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know more than is generally known. No more. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abelethia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean Alliance formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the Alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of the Silver Tier Skies. Since which time, their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every... It's hard to switch in between. Can one of you just tell the story? They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Cartano, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the Alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one our nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why not? Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so. Rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off with in the past, this time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think that they come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead. Our old friend Lord Horshaphant is expecting us. Hey, I was right. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. I need more coffee. Alright, we are heading to Camp Dragonhead. Orshafont, we're back. Ah, Mask, ever a welcome sight. Our hearths have been stoked to blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Climes? Ah, good Master Alphanode, an honor, as always. Likewise, Lord Horshafont, forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid since you so generously assist. Do you ever get tired of talking like this? I've been at it for a couple hours today, and I'm already exhausted. We're gonna get through this. I hope Stormblood is just a bunch of gibberish. I hope it's just all a bunch of SpongeBob, caveman gibberish. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid since you so generously assisted us in the locating of the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Forton may even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloaked helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand. Sir Emmerich arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey and desirous to rest while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you are willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the night station outside the intercessory. Wow. He will grant you entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your hearth sounds, I think it best we proceed to the door forthwith. My God. This is why I'm gonna keep hating on Oriange. Let it be known. All right. Before we get into this, I'm going to take a break. So we will see you in the next block. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you stay tuned for more.